And good evening, baseball fans, family. Hope you're doing well. Welcome into Brother Jack Dawson and Clee, Baseball Fan 879. How you doing, Tim? How you guys doing? So we're going to do some more 1904. Clinton Parks had asked for the 1904, the series that never was, the World Series. So we're going to go to game two. Boston took game one from the Giants last night, 6-1. Cy Young with the win, Christy Mathewson with the loss. So, number of home runs in that game, actually, all three by the Boston Americans: Hope Ferris, Luke Krieger, and Jimmy Collins. So, tonight we will see Hall of Famer Jesse Tannehill and Red Ames. So, Tannehill for the Boston Americans and for the New York Giants, Red Ames. But just to put things in perspective, a couple of things were going on in the United States and sort of around the world. But we'll focus in the United States in 1904. So Theodore Roosevelt defeated Alton B. Parker for president. The Roosevelt Corollary was announced, asserting the United States' right to intervene in Latin American nations. The United States in 1904 officially took over construction of the Panama Canal in May. In 1904, in October, the first subway system in New York City opened, and Longacre Times Square was renamed Times Square in 1904. The St. Louis World's Fair and Olympics, the Louisiana Purchase Exposition opened, featuring the first Olympic Games in the United States and the invention of the ice cream cone. The Great Baltimore Fire happened in 1904, devastated the city's core, leading to new fire safety standards. Charles Rolls and Henry Royce formed their partnership. So Rolls Royce in 1904. Cy Young pitched the first perfect game in modern Major League Baseball history. And finally, Peter Pan, the stage play premiered in London in December. So there you go. A few facts about 1904. And that's where we are. So the first ice cream cone and the first subway line opened. So I'm not sure how many of these folks were able to take the subway yet in 1904, but pretty cool stuff. Anyhow, let's get right to things and play some baseball. All right. For the Boston Americans, of course, these lineups largely staying the same, but it's always nice to read them out anyhow. For the Boston Americans, leading off in center field, Chick Stahl, batting second in left field, Kip Selbach. Batting third, shortstop Freddie Perrin. Batting in the cleanup spot, right fielder Buck Freeman. Batting fifth and catching, Luke Krieger. Batting sixth, the third base, Jimmy Collins. Batting seventh at first base, Candy LaChance. Batting eighth at second base, Hope Ferris. And pitching and batting ninth, Hall of Famer Jesse Tannehill. Tannehill for the Boston Americans that year, 21 wins, 11 losses, a 2.04 earned run average. For the hometown New York Giants, the Mac or the McGraw men, not the Mac men, that'd be Connie Mack, and they would meet in 1905. Leading off at the hot corner will be Art Devlin, batting second, right fielder George Brown, batting third and left field, Turkey Mike Donlin, batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base, Dan McGann, batting fifth in center field, the Duke of Trey Lee, Roger Bresnahan, batting sixth at shortstop, Bad Bill Dolan, batting seventh and catching, Frank Bowerman, and in the number 8 slot at the Keystone Sack, Billy Gilbert, and pitching and batting ninth, Red Ames. Red Ames 4 and 6 that year, a 2.27 earned run average. And there's cousin Ken Castro joining us here, greeting the esteemed chat, as it were. So let's go, Mr. Peabody, take us back to 1904 to the Polo Grounds. Everybody grab your newly invented ice cream cones and take the subway. The subway opened in 1904, the first subway line. All right, and welcome to the Polo Grounds. And we are ready to go. In left field, Mike Donlin. In center field, Chick Stahl. And right, George Brown. Around the horn, Dan McGann, Billy Gilbert, Bill Dolan, Art Devlin, Bowerman behind the plate, Frank Bowerman, and Red Ames on the mound. Leading off here, Chick Stahl. Chick Stahl 4 for 5 in this World Series that never won, that never was. And So Ken says just sort up a Strat 2020 game to relax. Excellent. Glad to hear it, cuz. All right, here we go. Let's pan around here. The Polo Grounds. And here we go. Count full to Chick Stahl. Chick Stahl leads off with a walk. So fastball just a bit inside there by Red Ames. Kip Selbach 1 for 5 in the series. Stahl on first. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this one, liner to center. This is going to go down and get down for a base hit. And with the real estate in this ballpark, that one is going to be a double. So Red Ames hit by the leadoff walk and then the double by Kip Selbach. So Boston last night posted 4 runs in the first half of the first inning and not wasting any time here getting runners aboard. Here's Freddie Perrin. He has nothing for 1. Red Ames has the sign from Bowerman. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Freddie Perrin. All right, so 1 away for Buck Freeman, who is nothing for 2. 1-2 pitch to Freeman. Swing and a miss. Red Ames now finding his groove. Another fastball there. Little foul tip that Frank Bowerman holds on to. All right, here's the catcher, Lou Krieger. 2 home runs in the series opener. So 2 for 4 overall. 1-2 pitch. Krieger swings. This one sinking liner to center field and right into the glove of the Duke of Trey Lee. So the Boston Americans threaten, but they leave 2 in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Boston Americans nothing. The New York Giants coming to bat in left field. Kip Selbach at center. Roger Bresnahan and right. Buck Freeman. At first base, Candy LaChance at second. Hope Ferris at short. Freddie Perrin at the hot corner. Jimmy Collins. Behind the plate, Lou Krieger, and on the mound, Hall of Famer Jesse Tannehill. And John DFW saying, good evening from Atlanta. And great to see you, John. Thank you for coming in and hanging out here with 1904. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right, Art Devlin, nothing for 4. Tannehill leans in, has the sign, and the Hall of Fame Southpaw deals. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Devlin. Devlin looks at a called strike 3. So Jesse Tannehill bringing an off-speed pitch there for out number 1. George Brown, nothing for 4. So John McGraw's Giants did not bring their bats to the ball orchard yesterday. 1-2 pitch. George Brown, late swing. Another fastball. So Tannehill with 2 strikeouts looking for the trifecta. Mike Donlin in the box now in this lefty-lefty matchup. Turkey Mike, 2 for 4. The pitch. Donlin swings, and this one routine grounder to second base. And Ferris up with it and on to first for the final out. So the Giants go 1-2-3. We go to the top of the second, and we are scoreless. We are scoreless. All right, Jimmy Collins, Candy LaChance, Hope Ferris due up. And there's RGO Network and Bernie Strom. Welcome in, gentlemen. And H Field, how you doing? Good to see you guys, as always. Now we need here is the Professor Clinton Parks. He's the one that wanted this World Series. So the World Series that never was. I need to watch the game you just rolled. Well, I have to kind of watch it after the fact, Robert, but I definitely will. Like I said, I can only catch... Hey, Modern Relic, great to see you. Robert, I can only catch you on Sundays and Mondays, unfortunately. But I will definitely check it out. Robert's been rolling up some nail-biters lately. A couple Game of the Year candidates, including that All-Star game, by the way. If you guys didn't catch the 1980 All-Star game that Robert did the other night, you got to check it out. It's a cliffhanger. It's crazy. It was absolute crazy. Nice. H-Field said just watching the Dead Ball episode of Ken Burns Baseball for the umpteenth time. Nice follow-up to that. I appreciate that, but can't equal what he did, not even by a long shot, but keeping you at least in that era, in that vibe. All right. Jimmy Collins leading off the top of the second. Count full. Here's the pitch. Collins swings, and this one, high fly ball out to center field. Easy play for Bresnahan. Brings it down for out number one. Red Ames now will face Candy LaChance. Nothing for 4 in the series. 1-2 pitch on the way from Tannehill. LaChance swing and a miss. Or I'm sorry, from Red Ames. So 3rd strikeout for Red Ames, and brings up Hope Ferris. Has a home run in this World Series. 1-2 pitch on the way. And there you go. How about it? 2 strikeouts and a flyout. That's the way to get it done. Bottom of the 2nd, no score. Dan McGann. The 4, 5, 6 hitters drew up. McGann, Bresnahan, and Bad Bill Dahlin. Tannehill with a 1-1. McGann swings, and line drive over first into right field. So New York picking up base hit. And here's the Duke of Trey Lee. He is 1 for 4. McGann, good speed at first. 0-1 pitch. McGann off to the races. The throw down, the head first slide, the tag. Not in time. Krieger with a strong arm out there, but McGann, just an incredible base stealer. So New York now has 1 in scoring position. Count 1-1. Swung on, and this one's going to get into the corner, and that's going to be an RBI double. RBI double by the Duke of Trey Lee, and the New York Giants pick up one in the bottom of the 2nd. As Dan McGann comes in to score. JT Dutch. He says, hello there, good to see you, and hope you're doing well. And likewise, my good friend. All right, good to see everybody in here tonight for the World Series that never was. At some point, maybe we'll follow this up with the other World Series that never was, 1994. The only thing is, we're going to put Montreal in there as the National League representative, but we're going to let the community, the family, pick who will represent the American League. All right, Bad Bill bats with a runner in scoring position, 1 in the bottom of the 2nd for the Giants, looking to even up the series. Tannehill with the 2-0 pitch, and this one up the middle, base hit. They brought the wickets today. They're going to hold Bresnahan at 3rd, so runners at the corners, nobody out. Hall of Famer Tannehill in a bit of a pickle right now as Frank Bowerman strides to the plate, settles in the box. 1 for 3 in the series. Tannehill working out of the stretch, and there goes the runner. Bad Bill Dahlin in there standing. All right, so McGraw bringing some more aggressiveness. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Giants seeking revenge from that humiliating loss last night. Tannehill from the stretch, 0-2 pitch. This one popped up the chimney, first base side, and toward the foul line, and making the grab is Hope Ferris for out number 1. All right, Billy Gilbert, a hit in 4 tries. Yesterday's game, 0-1 pitch. Gilbert swings, hard ground ball to short, the throw home, and he is out of there. So Freddie Curran, good heads up play there at short to cut off that run. So still 1-0 here. And Red Ames, we'll look at Red Ames here. I wanted to actually look at his hitting stats, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Giants could be squandering a chance here. 2-1 pitch. Swung on by Ames. Nope, dumps it into left, base hit. RBI single for Red Ames. Bad Bill will come in and score, and it's 2-0 in favor of the New York Giants. Hitchfield said, it was the Rangers that were leading the West in 94, well below 500. Wonder if they've gotten hot in October at the right time to be the only losing pennant winner. Wow. So, wow, now I definitely have to watch it because apparently Robert had himself a no-no, apparently. Awesome. Yeah, definitely got to see that. All right. So, Rangers and Expos for 1994, is that who it'd be? They're leading the West. Who was leading? We're going to have to look at Baseball Reference. We got to make a pick. And what would that say about Major League Baseball? Nothing good. That American League West was pretty pathetic in the 90s. All right. Gilbert at second, trailing him. Red Ames at first, helping his own cause with an RBI. Art Devlin, nothing for 5 on the series. We're back at the top of the order. Nothing for 1 today. 1-1 pitch. Devlin swings and grounder to second. And up with that is Ferris, ranging to his left, and he will make the easy toss on to first. But the New York Giants pick up 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 left on, and we go to the top of the third. The New York Giants lead this one, game 2, 2-0. Jesse Tannehill, Chick Stahl, Kip Selbach due up for the Boston 9. Red Ames with 4 strikeouts, now at a walk. Behind 3-1 to Tannehill, and you don't want to walk the pitcher, but there we go. So Tannehill aboard, and Tannehill could run. All right, back at the top of the order now. The Chick Stahl had a leadoff walk, count full. Stahl swings. This one popped out, and going out on the grass there at short is Bad Bill Dolan. Good hustle there. 1 up, 1 down, or 1 down, I should say. Not 1 up, 1 down. 2 up, 1 down. How about that? Kip Selbach, 1 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. Selbach. There goes Jesse Tannehill. I told you the man could run, and he is in there and safe. So Tannehill picking up the steal. So Boston looking to answer those 2 runs posted by New York Giants in the bottom of the second inning. Selbach back in the box, count full.
Strike 3.
And a called strike 3. Red Ames not playing around. Strikeout number 5, 2 down for Freddie Perrin. He is 0 for 1. Count 3-1. And this one just off the corner and inside. So third walk issued by Red Ames. 2 on for Boston and brings up Buck Freeman. Nothing for 1. The count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freeman cuts on this one. Sinking liner to center. Right into the glove of Roger Bresnahan. Good play out there in the pasture. 2 base runners in the inning, but that's all for the Americans. We go to the bottom of the third here in Game 2 of the 1904 World Series. And it's 2-0. And yes, if anybody says in the comments later, but there was no World Series in 1904, that is true. And that's what it says on the tin, the series that never was. George Brown, Mike Donlin, Dan McGann due up for John McGraw's 9 here. George Brown having an abysmal series thus far. Count full to Brown. And it continues. So Jess Tannehill picks up his 3rd K of the game. Modern Relic says he thinks he's a terrible manager for this era. Just ran a couple of games with 1906 teams, got spanked twice with the Cubs, couldn't steal a base, hit and run backfired every time. Ouch. Yeah, but at least you got the idea of it. So that's that. The idea of dead ball baseball was just aggressive, and take risks. So Larry Gura of Kansas City picks up Robert's first ever inside pitch no-no. Wow. I've only ever had 1 no-hitter that I've ever broadcast, man. And it was done here. It was Scott McGregor. 1983 Orioles did it. What was it? Was it 2022? January of 2022. We had a big house in here that night. It was on APA PC Baseball for Windows. All right, Turkey Mike now. 1-1 pitch to Donlin. Donlin swings. Tapper. Oh, this one past second into center field. And there we go. Mike Donlin taking a couple days off from vaudeville, and he is aboard. Here's Dan McGann now. 1 for 1. Donlin, good leadoff first. 1 down, bottom of the third. 0-2 pitch. And he's off to the races. Donlin would take this one uncontested. Well, not really uncontested. Krieger lost his grip on the ball as we look at our little 1904 replay provided by none other than Mr. Thomas Edison. All right. We see the Pathé brothers are here, by the way, from France, and the amazing cinematograph. All right, Donlin in scoring position. Giants looking for run number 3. McGann back in the box. 1-2 pitch. Dan McGann. Oh, this one paints the corner. Beautiful pitch there by Jesse Tannehill, picking up his 4th K. 2 down now for the Duke of Tralee. 1 for 1 with an RBI and a couple good plays in center field. Count full on Bresnahan. Bresnahan swings and he rips this into the gap and left. Bresnahan with the second RBI of the game, and they're still trying to find that ball out there in center. They do finally get it back in. Mike Donlin will come to score. Double for Bresnahan, 3-0 Giants. All right, here is Bad Bill Donlin, 1 for 1. The pitch. Donlin swings, ripped into left. This gets down. Donlin picks up an RBI, and the Giants coming back with a vengeance here in Game 2. Bresnahan comes in to score. It's 4-0 now, Giants. Here's Frank Bowerman looking to get on the hit parade. New York now with 7 hits. This game looking like the mirror image of last night's game, by the way. Score-wise, not how it was scored. This one, hard hit ball into left field, but that will be out number 3 as Kip Selbach brings it down. If the Giants get 2 on 3 hits, they leave 1 in scoring position. Top of the 4th here at the Polo Grounds, 1904. Grab your ice cream cones, and did you take the newly opened subway line here to the Polo Grounds? 4-0 in favor of the Giants. President Teddy Roosevelt has telegraphed his good wishes to both teams. All right, Lou Krieger, Jimmy Collins, Candy LaChance do up. Krieger 0 for 1 in the game. Count full. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Red Ames picks up strikeout number 6. Lots of 9-iron shots. How you doing, Crusader? Good to see you. All right, here is, and there's Greg Gorecki says, got caught in traffic, but better late than never. Not that I'm familiar with New York. So before the broadcast, I was just going over a few things that happened in 1904. And the first subway line opened in 1904, New York. The first United States Olympics held in St. Louis in 1904. The ice cream cone is invented in 1904. So a banner year for most things. Cy Young pitched the first no-hitter in modern Major League Baseball history. And Cy Young won last night's game, by the way. That was supposed to be a good matchup, Young and Mathewson, but something bizarre. So out of the park players, at least this is what I've noticed, Christy Mathewson gets beat up in out-of-the-park baseball. Everything I've tried, all kinds of projects I've had Maddie in, and for some reason, out-of-the-park doesn't like Big Six. I don't know why. Does well in just about every other baseball game I've played, but in out-of-the-park baseball, Mathewson just gets his butt kicked, man. Cy Young, he's no Lee Richmond. Well, but who is? Right? Who is, cousin? I don't know why was my phone freaking out. I have no idea. Anyhow, doesn't matter. All right, here we go. 1 down, 1-2 pitch to Jimmy Collins. Jimmy Collins, high fly ball center field, ranging over to his left and making the grab is Duke of Tralee. So 2 down. Bresnahan already starting to think of him as possible player of the game here. There's Candy LaChance now. Count full on LaChance. And ball 4 misses outside. So Red Ames now with 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Hope Ferris, 0 for 1. Count 1-1. And the runner goes. There goes LaChance. The throw down, not in time. That's something you're going to see a lot in dead ball. Lots of stolen bases. And out of the park baseball, it does dead ball so well. All right, Ferris back in the box. Count even. Swing and a miss. So Boston turned away. They leave 1 in scoring position. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The New York Giants leading 4-0. So Red Ames has himself a nice little 1-hitter going. Jesse Tannehill will face the bottom of the order. Billy Gilbert, Red Ames, and then we swing around back to Art Devlin. Count full. Billy Gilbert grounded to short last time and called strike 3. Curveball offering by Jesse Tannehill. Strikeout number 5 for the Hall of Famer. So I didn't realize that Jesse Tannehill pitched for Boston. I always associate Tannehill with the St. Louis Cardinals. But there you go. You learned something new, huh? There's a boxer like that in a title bout championship boxing. Hardly ever won a fight, but found footage of a fight with him and George Chuvalo. So didn't Ali fight Chuvalo? Didn't he have a fight with George Chuvalo and kind of beat him like pretty badly? All right, here's Red Ames. 1-for-1. Red Ames with an RBI in this game. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that was an RBI single. And swung on. Ames sends this one out to left field. Kip Selbach on his horse, back and makes the grab for 2 down. Back to the top of the order now. Art Devlin doing absolutely nothing at the dish against Boston American pitching. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the third baseman swings, and 1 hopper to second. Ferris will go to first, and that retires the side. The Giants go in order. We go to the top of the 5th. 4-0 New York. Red Ames will face Jesse Tannehill, Chick Stahl, and Kip Selbach. Here's the pitch. Tannehill swings, and soft liner right to short. Bad Bill Dolan has it. 1 away. All right, top of the order now for Chick Stahl. Boston with just 1 hit in this game. 2 fights, one at Maple Leaf Gardens, which was the first pro fight Greg says that he ever attended, and one in Vancouver. 3-1 now on Chick Stahl. Popped out to center last time, and he's going to draw the walk as this misses low and inside. Red Ames now, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. Here's Kip Selbach. He has a hit and 2 tries in this game. Count full. Stahl off to the races and strike him out, but no throw him out. So Chick Stahl makes second, and here's Freddie Perrin now. Boston trying to do what they can to get on the board here. And looks like we've got Claude Elliott coming in. Claude Elliott came in on relief last night. So Red Ames is done. So Claude Elliott worked 2/3 in last night's game and struck out a batter. All right, 2 down for Freddie Perrin. He is 0-for-1. And the pitch. Perrin, first pitch swinging. Liner to right, but having him played perfectly is George Brown. So, once again, Boston strands a runner. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The New York Giants lead the Boston Americans 4-0 Game 2 of the World Series that never was. George Brown, Mike Donlin, Dan McGann, the 2-3-4 hitters due up for John McGraw's Giants. 1-1 pitch on the way. And Brown swings, and this a hard line drive into right field. 8th hit for the New York Giants in this game. Brings up Turkey Mike Donlin, 1-for-2. And Donlin, there we go, dumps this one into right field. And George Brown thought about third, but a little hesitation there to see if Buck Freeman was going to catch. Buck Freeman, excellent range. Actually, just an excellent outfield all around here. Just defensively, actually, this Boston American team is fantastic. All right, 2 on and nobody out for Dan McGann. McGann 1-for-2. Count 1-1, and McGann hit by the pitch. Curveball. So Jesse Tannehill, pitching a stellar game thus far, now deals with the bases loaded. All right, Jesse Tannehill not pitching a stellar game. So he does have 5 strikeouts, so that's pretty good. Jack Dawson said he's still here. Question is Pocket Pennant Run available for PC? It is the only platform in which you could play Pocket Pennant Run. So, yep, it's available. $14.99 for the print and play version, Jack. And you get access to the Pocket Pennant Run software. It's Windows. You can probably run it on a Mac emulator if you're a Mac person. Bernie here. He says Chuvalo fought all the top heavyweights during his era. He was never knocked down, not even once. Wow. And then Rocky Marciano, of course, never knocked out. So yeah, I've heard some good things about George Chuvalo. Was pretty tough guy. Didn't Chuvalo have like a big mustache or something like that? Is that the correct fighter I'm thinking of, Bernie? Truth hurts, Wilkie. The Pirates announced this evening that former All-Star reliever Elroy Faith. Oh no, passed away at 97. He pitched parts of 16 seasons in the big leagues, all but the final of which came in Pittsburgh. So we got to do a game in honor of Roy Faith. So may his memory be eternal. Only after retired. Okay, thank you, Greg. So how you doing, Truth Hurts Wookie? Finally had to figure out some weird stuff with Diamond Mine Baseball, but got it worked out. They weren't very much help, but up and running, and I did pick up the all-time great teams, volume 11. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yep, so memory eternal to Roy Face. All right, Jesse Tannehill in a bit of a pickle here. New York with a 4-run lead, nobody out, and they got him sold out. George Brown is the third, Mike Donlin at second, Dan McGann at first, and you got a good contact hitter up here, and Roger Bresnahan, who's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, and all these ducks on the pond have speed, powered by Chalmers Automobile. From the stretch and the 0-2 pitch. Swung on by Bresnahan, line to first, and they're going to double up the runner. How about that? So Candy LaChance, good heads up play. So from bases loaded, none out to 2 in scoring position and 2 out. Excellent chance, or excellent work there. Let's have just a quick look at that one. Here we go. And there you go. All right, so 2 down. Boston needing a break in this game. So John says he would love to die at 97. I want to live forever, but 97 is a damn fine run. All right. Brown at third, Donlin at second. First base open, Donlin at the dish. Donlin 2 for 2. Frank Bowerman waits on deck. Will Tannehill walk him? 1-2 pitch. Nope.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. All right. So the Giants squander an opportunity. They leave 2 in scoring position, and see if Boston Americans now can take the momentum of that great double-up play there by Kendy LaChance into the 6th and get a run on the board here. Buck Freeman, Luke Krieger, Jimmy Collins will be the batsman. Buck Freeman waving the wicket from the left-hand side. Claude Elliott stays on in relief. Freeman, nothing in 2 attempts. 0-2 pitch on the way. Lined out his last time up.
Strike 3.
Freeman swings and a miss. Curveball there. Coming in, a little bender from Claude Elliott. It reminds me of of course, the Harvard president Charles Eliot in the 1860s, when he heard about the curveball. He said, "I am made to understand that the curveball is a pitch of deceit. We at Harvard do not condone conceit or something, or deceit, something like that." Claude Elliott's name remind me of Charles Eliot. So there you go. Some fun little trivia for you there. Here's Luke Krieger now, batting with 1 down in the top of the 6th. The 1-0 on the way to Krieger. Krieger swings 2 home runs yesterday, and he hits this one deep to center field. But back on it is the Duke of Trey Lee, as if he was running to Dublin. So 2 down now. And here's Jimmy Collins, Hall of Famer, nothing for 2. The 1-0 pitch. And Jimmy swings. This one, fly ball. Bresnahan to his left will make the grab, calling off George Brown. Once again, the Boston Americans are turned away, family. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Giants still holding on to a 4-0 lead. Truth Hurts Wilkie says his doctor gave him the bad news last May. He said he wouldn't live forever. That sucks, man. So what you do, though, is you don't pay your bill, and then the doctor just extends it, man, and you'll be good. So yeah, we heard Tim, and so we're gonna have to do a Roy Face tribute game at some point. All right, Frank Bowerman, nothing for two. Billy Gilbert, and then we'll see if Claude Elliott bats for himself here in the bottom of the sixth inning. New York looking to even up this World Series. 1-2 pitch on the way to the catcher. Bowerman swings with authority, ripped into left field, base hit. Bowerman going for two. The throw, the tag, not in time. So 10th hit for John McGraw's New York Giants brings up Billy Gilbert. New York second baseman is nothing for two. Jesse Tannehill checks Bowerman at second. Excellent speed. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Bouncer to short. And they're going to look Bowerman back. Billy Gilbert's out. So unable to advance the line, as it were. And here's Claude Elliott. So Greg says that he did get to see Roy Face pitch a couple of times for the Montreal Expos at the end of his career. Definitely a fixture for Pittsburgh. All right. Hey, and there's Miguel. He says, Casarich, familia. ¿Cómo está, Casarich, Miguel? Yeah? So I'm probably already gone beyond your level of Italian, but you know what I'm saying. Mike, it's good to see you. It was fun watching you broadcast the other night. I don't know what was going on with the stream, but it was fun. Stay with Strat Max, by the way. Stay with Strat Max. It's cool. If there's some things you need to know about it, let me know. I know that the computer kind of pulled a cheesy move, as you said the other night. But it's really a good game. I've never seen it do that before. I will tell you this. Every once in a while, Strat Max will do something kind of like, what? Or sometimes it'll hang up, but it's a great product, and I highly recommend it. So the internet was very wonky in your end. Okay. But it was great to see you back to broadcasting, buddy. Really. And I saw you're on the Discord. I saw there's a message from you. I will get to it. So I'm glad you're on our Discord. I thought, it's just easier for me to communicate on Discord than Facebook right now. Yeah, so Drysdale, a 2-run pinch hit home run. So Drysdale was a pretty good hitting pitcher. So cheese move, but Drysdale was a good hitter. So, but I get it. Grrr. And especially against your beloved Yankees. But it's a fun product, Mike. It really is. Bernie's a big fan. And Bernie, I love it too. I do. I love Strat Max. We're going to do a game here some night when Ken is feeling up to a bit of managing and stuff. We're going to do a 19th century game in Strat Max, since it has every season back to 1876. So we're going to do probably Providence Grays, 1884, Baltimore Orioles, 1894, something like that. But just play a 19th century game, although it'd probably be smarter to just play two teams in the same year. So maybe the Baltimore Orioles and Boston Beaneaters, 1894, 1895, something like that. But yeah, I love it. It's an excellent product. Claude Elliott looks like he's going to be batting for himself. 0-2 pitch. Elliott looks at one that paints the inside corner. Strike 3. Jesse Tannehill, despite 7 strikeouts, but getting touched up. 2 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third. But that's always tough when you're mowing them down with strikes and you're down in the game. Greg said he had the pleasure of meeting Don Drysdale. Hope he didn't bean you, man. When he worked for the Expos. Larry Doby. Wow. So Larry Doby. So 2 greats there. Drysdale and Doby. Says Larry Doby would bring them by to meet us kids in the bleachers. That is so cool. Wow. So, I mean, to be in the ballpark, the same ballpark as Don Drysdale and Larry Doby, that's incredible. All right, Art Devlin bats with 2 down. Frank Bowerman in scoring position. They're going to waste that double? No, they're not. Base hit to right. Bowerman will come around to score. The throw to the plate. Do they get him? And he is safe. So Luke Kryger's tagged just a bit too late, and the Giants tack on another. It's 5-0. All right, here's George Brown now. Devlin on at first, 2 away, 5-0 Giants lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on and high fly ball going toward the foul line and out there to get it as Hope Ferris. So, but the New York Giants pick up a run on 2 hits. There were no errors and a runner left. And we have us a clean ball game thus far. 5-0 in favor of the Giants. Greg continues. He says Doby would often come to the bleachers prior to the game when he was third base coach in Montreal. Wow. What a great player he was, and every bit as brave as Jackie Robinson, because Larry Doby had to deal with, bad things in the American League when he came in. All right, Candy LaChance, Hope Ferris, and Jess Tannehill. I hope you guys will be cool with this. I want to start doing some Negro League baseball at some point, so I hope you guys will enjoy that. Pretty much, I've acquired all the Negro League seasons that DK Sports has, and of course, all the Negro Leagues are available in pocket pennant runs. So, again, after Michael McGreevy is on cruise control, I want to start doing some Negro League baseball on here. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm going to use James Riley's Encyclopedia of Negro League Baseball for just a large part of reference and backstory and things like that. So look for that coming up later this year. Negro League Baseball in our family. John says he used to see Hank Aaron around Brave Spring Training. Holy hell, man. You guys. But he never signed autographs. I don't think 715 ever recovered from what he had to go through reaching 715. Yeah. I mean, the man was getting death threats and just because of the color of his skin. It had nothing to do with surpassing Babe Ruth. Yeah. Larry said, like Jackie, that the fans of Philadelphia were the worst at that time. To the eternal shame of the city of brotherly love, one-time capital of this country. That, yeah, I mean, Ben Chapman, boy, you guys, I'm sure you know about just the rabid nastiness of Ben Chapman against Jackie. And I have a cat attacking me. That's really fun. Thank you. That's my female Darcy doing that. All right. Hey, Jeff, great to see you, man. He says Mark Aronson added the SI score sheet to his program. So got to watch his Game 7 of the 1971 World Series. I would definitely do that. Thank you for that. Yeah, I've got to go back and snag that and put it on this PC. I do like the game a lot. I do like the game a lot. So thank you for that that info, Jeff. Guys, you got to check out Jeff's excellent writing in the Sports Gaming Journal by Jamie Marshall. Jeff is such a gifted writer. I didn't know it. I just didn't know it. And I'm a fan. Truth Hurts Wookie says, what's the difference between playing Strat Max and the Strat computer game? Light years, man. I would think owning the physical disc would be better. Nope. Oh, you will? Oh, we're looking forward to that. So what's the difference? So number one, okay, so Strat Max is more expensive. If it's a subscription model, but it's $20 a month, big deal. You get every season from 1876 to the present. You can play any 2 teams against one another. You can create your own tournaments. You can replay any season, any All-Star game. It's so the cards look great. It's very streamlined. The flow makes sense. You can play the game and not know anything about Strat. Whereas the Strat PC game is a Byzantine pile of gobshites. It is. It's just Sports Time Machine has my my absolute eternal respect for putting up with that game. I used to own it, and oof. So I don't see Strat going out of business. They've got a great product there in Strat Max. You ought to give it a shot, man. Just give it a shot. I know a lot of people say, well, geez, $20 a month, but look at what you can do. And imagine being able to play, if you're a Strat player, seasons that they've never put out in print or not intending to or have gone out of print. You can play them. I love it. I love it. So yeah, okay. So Tribe saying the one thing or Tim saying the one thing he doesn't like about Strat Max All-Star Game Mode is that they don't have the rules about pinchers going max 3 innings. They also don't have the multi-year All-Star, the multi-All-Star Game years. I don't think are in, like, there's just one All-Star game for those years. But there's no perfect baseball game. There's no perfect any game. But I think it's a fantastic product and a huge improvement over last year. I had it last year and I was kind of meh. And boy, not now. I love it. I love it. Well, you can't have team logos or players, right? Because Major League Baseball licensing. There's 2 games that have it. This one and MLB The Show. But you know what? I mean, while it'd be nice to have it, JT, it still plays a damn fine game of baseball. So, I guess horses for courses, my good friend. Truth Horse Wookie said he spent all that money on Action PC. All right, let's get into it here. Kendy LaChance leading off. The 0-1 pitch to LaChance, and bounding ball to second, and the one hitter continues here as Claude Elliott has picked up the reins now. Where are we now? In Hope Ferris now. I'm looking at the wrong side of the screen. Hope Ferris, 0-2. Ferris swings, high popper, shallow center field. Going out on that one is Dahlin, calling off Bresnahan. He makes the grab, 2 up, 2 down. A pinch hitter now. It'd be Bob Unglob. So for these players, I like to look at these guys and let's just get a little idea, because they deserve to be remembered too. They made it to the majors. So Unglob, let's see, began his career in 1904, started with the Highlanders, and then went to the Boston Americans. Played 1905, missed 1906, played 07, 08, 09, finished his career in 1910 with Washington. Let's see, he was a lifetime 258 hitter, 66 steals, struck out 248 times, and hit a grand total of 5 home runs. But the big hits were triples. And if we look at Unglob here, in 1907, he hit 13 triples. An anomalous year. It kind of reminds me of Owen Chief Wilson's a great year that he had with the Pirates, and he hit a ton of triples, and that was just that season. So 1907 here for Bob Unglob. So there you go, Bob. Got a little bit of remembrance there here in 2026. Claude Elliott deals. He's ahead 0-2, and Unglob swings late on that one. And the song that won't be written for another 4 years, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, 7th inning stretch. So, John, I think that's very interesting you mentioned that for season ticket baseball, because, of course, it's the same developer, Clay Dressler. So, Baseball Mogul uses real major league logos. But, hey, D. Scott, welcome in, buddy. And I guess the way he gets away with it is within the game, you can download the logos, is how he gets away with that. How he gets away with that on printed cards with the team nicknames, my understanding is those are not only copyrighted, they're all actually, even more importantly, trademarked. And trademark law, copyright law is more of you're going to get your wrist slapped. Trademark law is serious. Um, so I don't know how I, because again, his defense for Baseball Mogul would be, well, no, I just, if people want to download the logos, they can download whatever they want. But to put them on a card without Major League licensing, I don't know. I don't think Major League Baseball is going to kick too much about that. But Met. So, oh yeah, teach his own. Absolutely, JT. Well, yeah, if season ticket, yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with. I definitely wouldn't want to mess with Major League Baseball. George Winter will now come on to pitch. He did work one inning, so worked an inning yesterday. Gave up a walk and a strikeout. Quick look at his career as a pitcher. 1901 to 1908. Finished his career with the Tigers in 1908. Was traded during the 1908 season. He was 83 and 102 overall. Earned an average of 2.87. Bad year for him in 1906, though. Wow, 4.12. We call that like kind of high now, but that would be astronomical in the dead ball era. All right, back to the game. George Winter will deal to Mike Donlin, Dan McGann, and Roger Bresnahan here in the bottom of the seventh of Game 2 of the World Series that never was. New York leads 5-0. 2-1 pitch on the way now to George Winter, or from George Winter to Mike Donlin, and hard line drive into center field. So the Giants haven't really been playing any bunts, move them over, that kind of baseball. They are swinging the bat today. Here's Dan McGann now. 1-2. Winter behind 3-1, and grounder to second. 4-6-3 double play. So there we go. How about that? So 2 down now for the Duke of Trey Lee. Again, New York holds on. Bresnahan gets player of the game no matter what the game says. Full count. Bresnahan draws the walk. So that fastball very close by George Winter, but Bresnahan able to show great patience there. Bad Bill Dolan with an RBI in this game, 2 for 3. 0-1 pitch to Dolan. Swung on by Dolan, base hit into right field. The Giants are just absolutely just clubbing it everywhere. Bresnahan's going to make third in standing. New York now with 13 hits, runners at the corners, 2 down. JT says that Clay would get a cease and desist and he simply would stop doing it and just leave on the city name. Probably a good idea if they do that. Or if, he would just follow that order. Some point in the 60s or 70s, says John, Major League Baseball wanted to charge Strat a huge licensing fee just for using real player names. Fortunately, Marvin Miller stepped in and struck a fair deal. Glad about that, or we wouldn't have the games we have today. D. Scott says, I remember a game that switched the first letter of the names, like Rabe Booth. Funny. D. Scott says he saw George Chuvalo fight Muhammad Ali in Vancouver. 2 down. Here's Frank Bowerman, doubled his last time. There goes the runner. Bad Bill Dolan has it pilfered. So New York doing it with some line drive hitting and stolen bases. They scored a pair in the second and the third, and 1 in the sixth. 5-0. 2 in scoring position, 2 down. Bowerman back in the box. The 1-0 pitch. Bowerman swings hard ground ball to third. Throw across the diamond, and that will be out number 3 as Jimmy Collins throws the strike. 2 men left on for the New York Giants as we go to the top half of the 8th inning, 5-0. Back at the top of the order, Chick Stahl, Kip Selbach, and Freddie Perrin. So Chick Stahl, nothing for one today. 0-1 pitch. The lefty swings, little number back to the mound. And up with it is Claude Elliott. Score that with 1-3 and 1 away for Kip Selbach, 1 for 3. 2-2 the count. Selbach cut on high fly ball right field. And sauntering back a few paces is George Brown. 2 up, 2 down for Boston in the top of the 8th inning. Freddie Perrin, nothing for 2, 1 for 6 overall in the series. Perrin dumps this one into right field, base hit. So finally in the top of the 8th, the Boston Americans get their second hit. And brings up Buck Freeman now. Freeman swings. This one, line drive to right, but George Brown has it about 10 feet in front of the wall. The runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. This one a snoozer. New York Giants lead the Boston Americans 5-0. Billy Gilbert, Claude Elliott waits on deck, and then Art Devlin. Will Elliott bat for the Giants with a 5-run lead. Looking to soak up some innings here. 0-2. And Gilbert goes down 3 straight pitches. Gilbert chasing there. George Winter going outside, and Billy Gilbert just trying to get a piece of it. We've got a pinch hitter now, Jack Dunn. So Claude Elliott's day is done. Good ball game for him as well. Jack Dunn, nothing for 1 in the World Series. Here's the pitch. Dunn swings, routine grounder to short, and this one is booted by Freddie Perrin. As if Boston couldn't get enough break in it. It's no longer a clean game. E6. Jack Dunn at first, good speed. Here's Art Devlin back at the top of the order. RBI in this game. And base hit right field. And the Giants on the hit parade. The throw to third, not in time. It's a good strong throw there by Buck Freeman, but unable to get the speedy Jack Dunn. Runs at the corners, 1 down for George Brown. Not be surprised if Art Devlin goes in this pitch. There he goes. And what do we got here? So strikeout. And Devlin gets back to first. Krieger was up ready to gun. So almost a strike him out, throw him out. All right, 2 down for Turkey Mike. Having a good ball game here. 3 for 4. 2-2 pitch. Donlin swings. Grounder to second. And Ferris will take it to the bag himself. All right. Boston Americans here in the top of the 9th. And the New York Giants on the verge of evening the series, 1 game each. Hooks Wiltsey will come on now for John McGraw and the New York Giants. He worked 2 innings in yesterday's game, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 2. He will face the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Luke Krieger, Jimmy Collins, and Candy LaChance. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 at an off speed. All right, here's Jimmy Collins now. The Hall of Famer not having a good series. A home run yesterday. 2-2 pitch to Jimmy. Collins swings and rips this one into center field. That's a little bit more like a Jimmy Collins. He's going to hold there at first base. Pretty good speed. And here is Candy LaChance. Worse than abysmal. Full count. And there goes Jimmy Collins. Strike him out. No, throw him out, though. Bowerman not up in time with the release of that ball. And Jimmy Collins has it stolen all the way. 2 down. Can Hobe Ferris make something happen here for Boston? 1-0 pitch on the way. Ferris swings, and this one absolutely crushed to left. And this one is gone. Aunt Minnie was just about to have a nap, but he has a chance to get up and open the window, man. Ferris with a 2-run shot, and all of a sudden with 2 down, it's becoming somewhat of a ball game. George put up a good battle against Ali. So D. Scott says his current clients have a good surround sound system. Curling is great, like being on the ice. Cool. All right, and Duke Farrell, who did some pinch hitting duties last night, will come on to pinch hit now. The man Todd B says looks like Jackie Gleason. Nothing for one in the series. Can he keep it going for the Boston Americans? Hobe Ferris goes yard off of Hooks Wiltsey. 2-2 pitch to Duke Farrell. That's your ball game. And the New York Giants even the series 1 game each. All right, so Rockus Polo Ground crowd propels Giants to a 5-2 victory. Series tied at 1-1. The Giants defeated the Americans 5-2 in Game 2 of the World Series, making an impact with center fielder Roger Bresnahan. So even the game agrees. Good. He is player of the game, who was 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and a walk. He drove in 2 runs and scored once. The win moves New York into a 1-1 tie with the Boston Americans. Yep, good hitting, good pitching, of course. Of course, of course, of course. So just 1 home run in the game, unlike last night's game. So, or I'm sorry, yeah, just 1. So just quickly, Jess Tannehill takes the loss, 6 innings pitched, 11 hits, 5 runs, all earned, struck out 7. George Winter worked 2 in relief for Boston, walked 1 and struck out 2 for the New York Giants. Red Ames, 4 2/3, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts for him. Claude Elliott gets the win. He worked 3 1/3 in relief and struck out 2. And Hooks Wiltsey came in and gave up the 2 earned runs that you just saw. Your player of the game is Roger Bresnahan, the Duke of Tralee. When we go to Boston, Game 3 will feature Dummy Taylor versus Bill Deneen, and there's the travel day, and there we go. So that's ready to go. And back to the Out of the Park main screen so I don't accidentally hit the play. That's it. So even before that home run, both teams had scored 6 runs in the series thus far. Pretty even. Yeah. So this is fun. Got to thank Clinton Parks for the idea of doing this 1904 World Series. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people have been very happy. There's been a lot of 1970s baseball. So because it's a travel day, if I do come on tomorrow night and do some baseball, we'll be back to the 1971 project and Action PC Baseball. And I think that's it, guys. Signing off about the time that I usually come on because I don't want to torture you too much with my goings on here. So talk for a few minutes. So I'm so happy. It's spring training. I guess spring training games begin. I think is it next week, like end of next week or something like that. So looking forward. Looking forward. The Pirates still trying to fill one more gap, but I'm happy with what the Buccos have done in the off season. So Greg says that he curled for 25 years and was in the provincial championships twice. Cool. He says, but he blew out his knee in 2003, ending his athletic career. Damn. You're welcome, cuz. Some night, got to reach out to you somewhere on Messenger or whatever and see when you'd be up for a 19th century game in Strat Max, and we'll do that. You're welcome, JT. Thank you guys for coming in. Really, really appreciate it. Um, for as many years as we've been together doing this, I know dead ball's still a tough draw, but I just really appreciate everything, everybody. So thank you to JT Dutch. JT, we gotta get to talking sometime here. I know usually I think you're off like Mondays or something. Maybe we catch up Sunday night. I'd love that, man. To Greg Gorecki, he says always good time. You guys make it so, brother. Ken says 19th century will be fun. And Ken, when you're ready again, I'll resub to Apago. Just got to see when you're ready. So again, JT Dutch, Greg Gorecki, cousin Ken Castro, heart and soul of this channel, the goat whisperer, the animal whisperer, and the man enjoying curling in surround sound, D. Scott Howard. Thank you, buddy, for coming in so very much. John DFW, the creator of the McGreevy Discord, was here. Truth Hurts Wilkie, all around good guy, and here's a conservative, and I'm a liberal, and he and I agree on so much stuff. And also a guru for Diamond Mine Baseball, Tim, the erstwhile Tribe Fan 879, Clee Baseball Fan 879. Please subscribe to that great channel. Jeff Ray, and to hang out with us here tonight, 1904, the immortal Bernie Strom, and Sports Time Machine. Subscribe to that channel, please. Mike, thank you, buddy. And it was again so great to see you broadcasting. Crusader was hanging out here for a while. Thank you, Crusader. Appreciate you, man. Modern Relic was here with us. Man, we had all kinds of luminaries. Brother Jack Dawson hanging out. H Field was here. RGL Network, two more stars. Wow, we're gonna have to start putting out the red carpet here at the old ballpark, guys. This stuff keeps up, man. I hope everybody had some fun tonight, and because that's really at the end of the day what it's about. And Clinton Parks comes in after the end of the second game. Truth Always Focus says, emailed the picture to me. Didn't realize you sent it 4 times. It's 4 times as good then, right? So looking forward to seeing that, my friend. And the professor says nothing wrong with curling. He said enjoyed the United States South Korea game. No, nothing wrong. I just think that it does kind of make sense that the same people that invented golf invented curling. So it's cool. So Clinton, I hope you're doing well, and you're here just as I'm signing off, brother. All right. You had a nice evening with the boss, as it should be. So that is always an excusable absence, good friend. All right, gentlemen, until the next time, uh, as I say always, thank you. You guys, you really mean everything. You guys are family. And see you around the batting cage.